Earlier this year, I released a video about the different tracking types for 2D VTubers, and we have a big update to go over here. I mentioned a plugin called VBridger, which was currently the best tracking type, but they recently added webcam support. We're gonna test the webcam support and see how it holds up. So I'm currently using my iPhone for the tracking here, and you can see my VBridger window on the top left here. I mentioned in my previous video that this is the current best tracking that we can get. Using iPhone and VBridger gives you very smooth tracking, very accurate tracking, and also allows you to use the extra keyforms on areas such as your mouth, so we can do things like this, which you ordinarily can't do with the other tracking types. Let's go ahead and look at our webcam options now. So to get to the webcam options in VBridger, we need to go to this drop-down menu, and our two webcam options are at the very bottom here. It's NVidia Tracking and Mediapipe. NVidia Tracking requires you to have an RTX video card, so if you don't have one of those, Mediapipe is the option for you. We're going to start off by looking at NVidia Tracking. So here is the NVidia tracker, and this is currently using my webcam. An important thing to note, if you're planning to use the RTX tracking, you need to have downloaded the VTubeStudio NVIDIA Broadcast Tracker, which is free on the Steam store. If a tracker isn't working for you, you may need to go into VBridger settings and locate your VTubeStudio. So out of the box, the tracking is already a lot better than the base tracking through VTubeStudio. I'll put up a comparison on the screen real fast right now. You may notice that your movements may be a little bit more jittery. A good way to fix this is by going into VBridger itself. You can see the parameter list on the top right here. Simply go through these, select them, and you can turn up the smoothing, which will remove some of the jitter. Using webcam tracking through VBridger, you may be required to turn up the smoothing on quite a few of these parameters. One of the biggest advantages with using VBridger with the NVIDIA tracking is that we can still use a lot of our extra parameters. For example, we have a lot of extra parameters set up in our mouth, such as shrugging and puckering. And good news for my glasses users out there. I'm currently wearing my glasses right now, and as you can see, there's not really any difference between when I wasn't wearing my glasses and when I'm currently using my glasses. It's kind of wild to see webcam tracking with completely lossless quality for glasses users. Next up, let's take a little look at Mediapipe. You don't need to download anything extra to use Mediapipe through VBridger, so this should just work straight out of the box. One thing I'm noticing right off the bat is that my eyes are behaving a little bit funky and my eyebrows as well. If you are planning to use Mediapipe and these things bother you, you can link your eyebrows and your eye movements together so that they're not looking a little bit lopsided all the time. Another big thing I do notice as well is that my mouth tracking is not as good as the other two. There is a easy fix for this, however, which I'll go over in just a moment. And much like with the RTX tracking, you are going to have to turn up the smoothness on the parameters here. However, much like the RTX tracking, the big advantage we do have here is that we can use our extra parameters again, so we can do all the fancy things with our mouth. One thing I do notice with the Mediapipe is that it doesn't track the shrugging very well, and it doesn't track the jaw very well. However, in comparison with the base VTubeStudio Mediapipe tracking, this is quite a bit of an upgrade. So now I'm gonna test it with my glasses on, and I'm already kind of noticing that it's struggling with my eye blinks. You may be able to get around this by tweaking the parameters, but your eye's always going to look a little bit funky. So another update that VBridger added that will help with the lip sync, especially on your Mediapipe tracking here, is that it now allows you to use your microphone for mouth inputs. To access this, we need to press load, and you're going to need to load the file which says VBridger vsmas ARKit. So now when I talk, my mouth forms are going to be overwritten by the microphone. You may need to tweak this in your parameter settings, because as you can see, my mouth is opening up way too wide. So I turned down my mouth sensitivities, and as you can see now, it's a little bit more realistic. Another thing to note with this mouth tracking is that you're going to need to turn down your audio delay, otherwise your mouth is going to be very off sync with your audio. The recommended amount for this mouth tracking is actually -500 milliseconds. However, I recommend going in and actually trying it out and see what works for you specifically. The main disadvantage to using this is that we can't really emote very well when we're talking. Since our mouth face tracking is being overwritten by our microphone, it won't track your smiling or frowning whilst you're talking. So here are my overall thoughts. With this new update, VBridger is now the best form of tracking that we can get for both webcam and iPhone. Please do note that there are some downsides to using it. For one, it costs a little bit extra than just using the VTubeStudio base. It will be an extra window to run whilst you're using your tracking, which might make things a little bit more messier on your PC, or may slow things down on lower end PCs. Plus, one of the main benefits of VBridger being the extra parameters means a little bit more work on your end, or your rigger's end, to get all of those extra parameters set up. My Ko-Fi memberships are now open. It's a lot like Patreon, where you can choose to support me monthly, such as being featured in the video credits, as well as having early access to any assets that I release. The link will be in the description. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was informative for you. If you're interested in more VTubing and live 2D related content, please do subscribe to the channel and let me know your thoughts on this new update in the comments down below. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye bye!